What's up, guys? This is Dave from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Monday, September 2nd. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. All right, let's dive right in with the pitcher position. So I like Logan Gilbert. He's got a fantastic matchup pitching against the 22nd worst batting team, the Oakland Athletics. Logan Gilbert has been solid, giving up only a .667 OPS versus lefties and a .692 OPS versus righties, averaging a .680 OPS overall. On top of that, his batting average against the A's is an impressive .113, giving up only 6 hits over 53 pitches. He's scored 31, 7, and 16 fantasy points in his last 3 games. At $9,600 DraftKings salary, considering his 3.09 ERA and 172 strikeouts this season, I think he's a great play. So I like Logan Gilbert here versus the Oakland Athletics. Next up, let's take a look at the catcher position. I've got my eye on Connor Wong from the Boston Red Sox. He has an 84 dash rank and an 18% batting advantage here versus the New York Mets. Connor Wong bats 28% better versus righty pitchers, with an OPS of .737 against them. He's up against a pitcher who does pitch worse to righties with a .843 OPS allowed versus right-handed batters. Although Wong hasn't faced this pitcher yet, he's been consistent with a batting average of .283 and 12 home runs. He's scored 2, 3, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Connor Wong as a value play here versus the New York Mets. At first base, I like Brandon Lowe from the Tampa Bay Rays. He's got a fantastic matchup against a low-salary pitcher on the Minnesota Twins. Brandon Lowe bats 37% better versus right-handed pitchers, with an OPS of .813 against them. The opposing pitcher gives up a .964 OPS to left-handed batters. Despite not having faced this pitcher before, Lowe's consistent performance standing at a batting average of .248 with 16 home runs makes him a solid pick. He's scored 5, 19, and 7 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Brandon Lowe here versus the Minnesota Twins. Let's move on to the second base position. Remarkably, we're sticking with Brandon Lowe here, given his eligibility at both first and second base. Given his stellar advantage metrics and his impressive fantasy points totals recently, he's a definite lock for today's games. Now at third base, let's talk about Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox. Devers has a 100 dash rank and an overall advantage of 2,100% against the New York Mets. He's batting .284 this season with a strong OPS of .865 versus righties. The pitcher he's facing has struggled significantly against lefty batters with a .1003 OPS. Although his BVP, batter versus pitcher stats, don't look good, 2 hits out of 16 at bats, Devers' recent performances indicate he's capable of turning things around. He's scored 3, 0, and 0 fantasy points in the last 3 games, but his overall potential shouldn't be ignored. So I like Rafael Devers as a strong play here versus the New York Mets. For the shortstop position, I like Corey Seager from the Texas Rangers. Despite facing a good pitcher from the New York Yankees, Seager has a strong batting advantage of 18% and a total advantage of 2,300%. Seager has an impressive OPS of 1.078 against righty pitchers. Even more, he's been mentioned in recent news articles highlighting his MVP odds and home run prop bets, asserting his excellent form. He's had decent BVP stats with 4 singles and a double against this pitcher out of 19 at-bats. With a batting average of .276 and 30 home runs, and having scored 12, 0, and 14 fantasy points in the last 3 games, Seager looks like a solid choice. So I like Corey Seager here versus the New York Yankees. Finally, let's talk about the outfield position. Jarren Duran from the Boston Red Sox is my top pick. He has a 100 dash rank and a great 2,700% total advantage against the New York Mets. Duran is batting .295 with 21 home runs, with a solid OPS of .840 versus right-handed pitchers. He has faced the pitcher twice, hitting .500 against him. Recent articles have even debated his rising status as a dark horse MVP candidate. With a fantasy point run of 5, 3, and a staggering 26 in the last 3 games, Duran is undoubtedly a stir pick for today. So I like Jarren Duran here versus the New York Mets. Before I wrap up, Let's look at a couple of value plays. Jamison Taillon from the Chicago Cubs is pitching against the eighth worst batting team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. With a $6,900 salary and a recent fantasy point run of 12, 9, and 13, he's a solid budget pick. And for a low-cost batter, check out Romy Gonzalez from the Boston Red Sox. Although his batting average leaves something to be desired, his current price point of $2,800 and 8, 3, and 5 fantasy points per game make him an intriguing value choice. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video, or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.